This is the Ridiculously Amazing Insurance Agent podcast hosted by me, Kelly Donahue-Piro. This show is for growing agencies looking to maximize their biggest investment, their people. We mash up our 3-minute videos from the previous week, all with tips on how to be ridiculously amazing at insurance sales, retention, processes, marketing, running an agency, and time management. If you want them daily, like us on social media as they're posted. But let's get started. Hey everybody, excited to be here for another week of 3-minute videos. And this is super exciting because we're in our launch phase of our new course, Plan and Execute Building Your Agency's Roadmap to Success. And this was designed specifically to launch now as many of you are starting end of year planning. This is literally your workbook with the coaching videos from me on all the things you need to consider to get your plan under control for next year. So I hope you really take a look at that. It's going to double in price coming soon, November 1st. So there's no sense in dilly-dallying. You need a guideline to create your plan. Now's the time to do it. You can subscribe, get all of our courses, which I think as you're building the plan, you may actually want to think about because there's so many things in there that make a big deal and make a big difference that you'll just start saying, oh, well, inside the school, there's actually a sales training course. Perfect. Check that off my list. But in this 3-minute videos, we're going to talk a lot about things that you as a leader need to put in place to have a successful launch of your plan. So these are things that we strongly believe need to be on lather, rinse, repeat. Otherwise, what happens, and I've done this, we launch a great plan. By March, no one remembers it, and we're back off to our normal comfort zone. So listen to these 4 ways that your agency needs to stop and get organized to launch your plan. All right, this is a twist on a classic, right? Almost every business knows about an org chart and having an organizational chart, and that's great. But in all reality, we need something a little different. We need an accountability chart. So this is coming from the book Traction, where what is this role accountable to? What are the 3 to 5 things that they're accountable to, and who is the leader above them that is driving that performance? So many agencies don't even know who they report to, let alone what they're accountable for. This is a step in our process to make sure that your team is super clear on that. So we hope that you enjoy this video. Hey everyone, it's Kelly Donahue-Piro here for another week of 3-minute videos. And what I want to talk today about is an accountability chart. So as you know, we're really focused on the launch of our new course, which is Plan and Execute, How to Build Your Agency's Success Roadmap. We timed this just for end of year planning. So for many of you, hopefully you're out there making a great game plan for your agency. So one of the things that should be on there is, what does your organizational structure look like? And the old school way of doing things was org chart, right? This is who reports to who. And I just can't tell you, there's so many agencies operating without even that. One question we ask in our 2-year program, we do our agency assessment component, which is the first 6 months, is who do you report to? And people often look at me like I don't have a head. It's like, well, for this, and for that. And there really needs to be one person in charge of that department, that team, that group. Otherwise, what ends up happening is everybody thinks something's happening and there's no real accountability. So a book we've been reading, Traction, which many of you out there may have heard of, talks about this concept of an accountability chart, which means this is the role and this is the 5 to 7 things that someone is completely 100% accountable and in charge of. So whatever it takes to get there, that's what they have to do. And in many agencies, we don't have that. So, what is the president in charge of? What is the personal lines department head in charge of? Commercial lines, and they break it up a little differently with sales and service and finances. I kind of feel like agencies run slightly differently than the way they break it up. So I like to do commercial, personal lines, sales, depending on how agencies are structured. But underneath that, you should be held accountable to different metrics and projects to see them out and execute. Which is, a big thing that we talk about. We've read the book, Flawless Execution and Extreme Leadership by Jocko. And so when you kind of look at it this way, from this is your job, these are the tasks, just like one of my least favorite things in the world. We talk about task. Task is not an outcome. And an accountability chart changes it from who do you report to not only who are you responsible for, but what is the outcome of your role, so that we can make sure if sales is down, we know who to go to work with them to get that back on track. And so part of our planning is flipping the switch. One, we should make it clear to everybody who they're reporting to. And if that's unclear, we need to fix that. 2, what is each role in
totally accountable to. So it's not a matter if service team members should be accountable to retention or cross-selling or a certain NPS score. If you're using a company like Rocket referrals, you want to make sure that that's clear. These are the 5 to 7 things you are totally accountable to. And I think that by doing that, you change the game. And that's one of the steps that we're going to go through in our Plan and Execute course. So if your agency is struggling here, I would just start with this. This is your big takeaway from this video. Just ask people, hey, who do you report to? And they might look at you like, well, for here, for that, blah, 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 blah. And then you know you've got that problem. And that's your number 1 goal to fix this week. So we'll see you in our next video. But I hope you check out the course. We're doing our launch special. It's going to be going soon. You don't want to miss out. So many agencies don't lean on job descriptions because they think that they can just wing it, right? Like, oh, well, I'll just wing it and people know what they have to do. And I can tell you from experience, most people don't know what they have to do. And without a clear job description, it's hard for the leader to hold someone accountable to it as well. Job descriptions should definitely be reviewed with the person every quarter, updated once a year, potentially sooner if things happen. But the idea is you also need a really good job description. I've seen so many bad ones out there that it's time to start up and get things going. So in this video, we actually show you our job description template. We talk about in our online store, you can buy the top 12 job descriptions so that you are empowered to create the best job descriptions for your team. All right, for this next 3-minute video, I'm actually going to walk you through a document because as part of our Plan and Execute course, Building Your Agency's Roadmap to Success, we go deep into job descriptions. So I think that this is a core component that many agencies kind of miss. We fly by the seat of our pants. And I do think that it's critical that we go ahead and have accurate job descriptions for each person. So our template for job descriptions is very simple. You have your title and it starts off with the mission. Why does this role exist? Because if we don't know why it exists, people think their role is to just do certificates, and that's not the point. So it's kind of just a couple statements of the mission of the role. Then we list out desired outcomes. So 93% retention rate, cross-sell book, handle transactions within 24 hours. It is not do certificates, take payments. Those are tasks. You want to think about the outcomes of the role. And then we talk a bit about the key performance indicators. So one big part of this new course that I think is worth its money alone is what reports agencies should be running. And if you're on AMS 360, Applied Epic, or Hawksoft, we have full guides included in the course with videos on how to run those reports accurately. And every role should have its metrics that we're going to track. And if you look what we put on here, we put what metric, what you are currently, where your goal is, how often you're going to get an update on this by your leader, and how you're going to track it. So everybody is crystal clear on metrics and accountability. Big, huge opportunity there. Now, principles, we also call these values. Every agency should have values. And the reason why values are so critical is there's oftentimes a lot of gray area that happens in an agency. Someone's got a bad attitude. Well, how do you fix that? Because it's not that they hurt a client, they just have a bad attitude, and it's like Jell-O almost. Well, if you put your values in place, and that is another step in the course too, of getting your values together, then what you really need to focus on is you violated this value that we have by working here. And that makes it less personal and a lot easier to attack. Next up, we have critical competencies. These are the things that they need to have for their job. Like, hey, these are the attributes you want. And last up is feedback. But here's the thing, when there's unclarity in job descriptions, everybody takes it themselves of what they think they should be doing. This keeps bringing clarity and accountability to people. So a couple things. One, you're inside the course, you'll have access to the template that we have on job descriptions so that you can, build up your own. Or as an add-on, we actually have in the course, you can buy on our online store, the top 12 job descriptions in any agency. We've completed this for you. All you got to do is just tighten them up. They're in Word document format. So 80% of the work is done. You can rock and roll and get your team job descriptions. But as you're building your plan for next year, it's going to be incredibly important to know all the roles and what they're accountable to and bring a lot of clarity to it. So take a look at our course, take a look at our top job descriptions, don't recreate the wheel with our job description, something along those lines, right on our store. So is, our course, you can get it right there. Any questions, let us know. but we'd love to welcome you as a new student.
So you may be so sick of me hearing about our new online course for agency leaders, which is Plan and Execute, Building Your Agency's Roadmap for Success. I'm not sick of saying it though. So we are right now at October 15th through the 31st doing it in launch mode. So that means it's 50% off. You can get it for $4.95. You can have it forever. Next year you can pull it back out. Although we do plan on making some modifications to it every year. So the idea is that you need a roadmap to help you plan. And we have everything from management system reports you should be running with actual guidance on Epic, AMS 360, and HawkSoft. So you don't have to guess anymore. We have whole workbooks. We're going to get your team's feedback. We're going to have a launch party where you tell everybody the meeting. We have it all mapped out for you. So don't go it alone. If you struggle with end of year planning or any planning in general, let us guide you. You can take the workbook out and go step by step by step to get it down pat. And if you're like me, love a good end of year plan, I just want to go ahead and say, tell me what to do and I will get the thoughts out of my head. And that's what we're doing here. So check it out, 50% off till October 31st. We hope to welcome you as a new student.
All right. Tracking is just one of those things in agencies we're just terrible at. But we need to stop that as an excuse and start getting better. So we want to talk a little bit about what metrics you should be showing your team, what that cadence looks like, and as well, just kind of starting thinking about we need to operate agencies off of facts, not feelings. So in this lesson, you're going to go ahead and hear a little bit about that. Now, in our course, Plan and Execute, Building Your Agency's Roadmap to Success, the other thing that's going to become incredibly important is we actually have written out the top reports you need to run, what you need to do with that information. And if you're on AMS 360, Applied Epic, or HawkSoft, we've hired trainers to go build those reports for us. So there's actually videos and PDF guides on how to do it. So if tracking has been your, a place that you struggle with, I get it. And that's why we've helped you with this. So that's worth the cost of admission alone on this course of just getting your tracking and your reporting under control. So take a look, but we think that it's a great opportunity for you. And we hope to welcome you as a new student. All right. Next up on our review of things that are in our course, our new course is called Plan and Execute, Building Your Agency Success Roadmap, is this one item that I'm very passionate about, which is tracking. You heard me mention it before. We have whole tracking guides. Like I said, it is worth it for you to purchase this course just for our guides and what reports you should be running. If you are having any questions, any doubts, these are the things you need to be looking at consistently in the agency. So what I want to share with you guys is the tracking component. To me, it takes all the fuzziness out for people. One, agencies get frustrated by bad data in their management system. Well, if we don't show the team their numbers, here's your numbers, here's your retention rate, here's your new business number, here's what's on it, we can never hope to get it to be better. So we have to not just take the responsibility on ourselves, but share that with the person whose metrics we're holding them accountable to. The next thing that we have to focus on with tracking is taking a big old look in the mirror as a leader. Are you running these reports consistently? Or is it when you remember, or if you've got time? That just does not work. Imagine if the Navy SEALs thought, well, when we have got time, we practice. No, it has to be intentional and built into your day and built into your life, to be honest with you. The other thing with tracking is how do you communicate this to the team? I can guarantee you emailing a report, it's going to go nowhere. No one's going to look at it. I've done that for a good part of my career. Everyone's like, oh, well, I just didn't have time. I didn't really look at it. For most staff members, they don't even know what they're looking at. And that's on us, not on them to fix. So a component that you need to focus on really is, how am I going to communicate these numbers? Now, we like to say that there should be a weekly update with commentary. So if you've got people all over the place, there should be a video or digestion or tips. Here's where we did great. Here's some things we got to focus on. There should be bi-weekly department meetings where everything is discussed. There needs to be a monthly all hands on deck meeting and a quarterly offsite meeting. And then intentionally every quarter, your team leader should be taking out their job description and looking at their KPIs with them. So whatever the time frame is, communication on tracking is unbelievably, incredibly important, because it's honesty, right? It's sitting there and saying, these are the numbers, this is where we're at, this is where we need to improve on. It's not beat you over the head with a stick. Like, sometimes people get so confused on metrics where they say like, oh, that's a quota. I'm like, it's not a quota. There's no quota here. All that there is instead is a guideline and where we're going to keep getting better. I use this phrase a lot. I used it in an earlier video. It's like stepping on the scale after Christmas. The number is what it is. Our goal is to get it to be in a better place so we can hit our potential. So check out this course. We actually go through a whole how to talk to your team about numbers section, and rolling them out and getting adoption and getting buy-in and the things that you need to do as a leader to get them there. So take a look at our course. We'd love to have you as a new student. When I think of insurance agencies, I think of this. I think of everybody running, sprinting a marathon. And then what happens is when you sprint a marathon, things break down because you're not supposed to sprint a marathon. Unless you're like one of those crazy marathon runners that win in like less time than it takes to do a load of laundry, which is amazing. Then, basically they have a whole different ball of wax. But communication is something that's lacking in almost every agency that we walk into. And I find that's because communication happens when people think as needed. And that's not the best way to do it. Communication needs to be intentional and strategic and thought out, and there needs to be a cadence to it. If people are only communicated to when there's a change or something's wrong, great news. People don't love meetings and communication. When they're communicated to proactively and they understand the roadmap and they understand where you're going, things change in an agency. It doesn't happen overnight, and that's why we quit so often. But listen to this 3-minute video and also think about it. It's a core component that we have in this lessons on our Q4 course so that you can also get a handle on communication in your agency. So when I work with agencies in our 2-year program, which we only have a few spots left on, and if you're interested in that, you should definitely let us know, because I think that they're all going to go by the end of the year, which means we will have a hiatus over next year and create a waiting list. But when we really look at one of the top 3 challenges in every agency, it's communication. And a lot of times the owner might have other roles and jobs, and that's tough. And we don't have a format for communication. We don't have a routine for communication. So that becomes a problem. And so what I want to say to you is, in our course, the Plan and Execute, Building Your Agency's Success Roadmap, we build in a communication strategy. We have everything from talking about an issue tracker. We talk about how many meetings we should have. And I'm going to break down those meetings for you guys in a second, both company and individual. But you cannot communicate enough. I say this all the time. Everybody's biggest expense, even in my business, my biggest expense is payroll. And so my job is to be a good steward of that payroll and manage that resource correctly. So as far as communication goes, we think that there should be a daily stand-up good things meeting in every agency. Everybody get around, even remote people. This is the good positive thing from yesterday. Start your day up positive, make sure people come in on time, and you can check to just do a quick update if anybody has anything pressing that day. Standing up, no sitting down, make your moves. Next step that we have kind of secondarily is the DePi weekly department meeting. So every 2 weeks, a meeting with the department, agenda focused, talk about the metrics, talk about the numbers. We have a whole agenda format for that in our course that you can use, but this should not be winging it, and it should be very motivational and informative, and people look forward to it, which doesn't happen all the time currently in agencies. Every month, there should be an all hands on deck meeting, which means that everybody in the whole company is going to be there, no matter what. Somebody's out sick, there's taking notes, or it's recorded, remote people, the whole thing. And this is the leader's opportunity to communicate where we are, where we're going, and what's next. So we need to keep that on deck as well. Then there should be a quarterly offsite training day where we get better, we learn about something new, we take time and opportunity to really get, dive deep and understand some part of the business. And this can change up. When you're in our 2-year program, we do that automatically. We come out to see you every quarter and provide that kind of training to your team for 2 years. So that's all inclusive in that program, but you need to have that intentionally built in. Then I also believe there needs to be a quarterly check-in with your leader. So if I'm an employee, I should have a meeting every quarter with my leader, look at my job description, how am I doing? What are the key performance indicators? What's working, what's not working, so that I can be, 1, hit my goals, 2, make the most money, and be a valuable team member. And when you have those things in place, it makes it 10 times easier than when you don't. Now, I actually kind of do a version of this every week with my team. We do a weekly check-in meeting, but formally every quarter with the job description. So they come to me with, these are the projects I'm working on, this is where I'm stuck. And it stops a lot of the interweek stuff that needs to happen. It's like, put it on the agenda, we'll talk about it then. There's a space involved. As a leader, there's also a space involved for me to address poor performance or issues that come up where it's not, let me call a meeting, and that gets very much like getting called in the principal's office. Instead, it's part of the routine that we have. And that's why communication is absolutely so critical in an agency. So think about it this way. If you're not doing some of these things, you're probably under communicating, which leads to frustration. And honestly, it creates a loophole of accountability as well. So we hope you consider a course or a 2-year program, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, guys, that's our videos for the week. We really appreciate you listening. I also want to just say we're wrapping up our Q4 course launch. So Plan and Execute, Building Your Agency's Roadmap to Success is $495 up until October 31st at midnight. So Halloween, don't want to be scrambling around with the kiddos. You want to get that now. You'll get it immediately, which means you get the workbook, you get the videos, you get everything right now. November 1st, when it comes through, it's going to go up to double, $995. So if you're even thinking about, I need a plan, I need help building my end of year plan, buy it now so that you have it. Or you could subscribe to our school, and this is included. And you get sales training, you get renewal review training, you get time management training, you get our course on how to cross-sell, and so much more. So I don't know what everybody's waiting for, but make the purchase, and we welcome you as a new student in our course.